Hello, I'm Megan Jayawardena. Welcome to Fittest App TV. We will do about 30 minutes of a full body stretch, working through all the major muscles. The goal is to feel really great and relaxed afterwards, and just to get movement through the body everywhere. We'll start by breathing in, breathing up, clasp the hands together, lower the shoulders. We're coming into a side bend here, holding it here. I'm sitting on my knees, sitting on my heels as well, stretching through the fronts of our feet here. If this is at all uncomfortable, instead, bring the legs straight out in front and continue. Sitting down with the legs out in front. Otherwise, keeping it here, stretching the shins, fronts of the ankles and feet. Last time, breathing in. Breathing out as we stretch over. In as we come up. And out. Good. Holding it here, we're now taking the right arm up and over. Find your side stretch. Pulling in the abs while we stretch. That will help with form. Lengthening the arms and fingertips. Come on down, other side. Up and over, and then wherever you are, lengthen, sitting up out of the hips, lengthening the arms, lengthening the spine, holding it here. If this position is enough for you, do that position again, up and over. Otherwise, we're breathing in, breathing out, raising the hips up off of the feet, and bringing the hips over to the side. Then reset your stretch, really opening up through the rib cage and the hip area here. If you'd like a little bit more, keep reaching, lengthen. Great, we'll come on down, we'll breathe in, breathe out, shift back onto our heels, and here we go, to the other side, up and over first. Stay here if sitting on your hip is too much for your hips. Otherwise, come on over, we're sitting on the other hip now, reaching. Taking the hand down, we'll come on up. And now we're sitting on the right hip and we're opening the legs out into a zigzag position. You have one shin and foot forward on the mat, the other knee is behind you. If you'd like it further behind you, go for it. If this is too much for your hips or your lower back, take the left leg out at an angle instead and work in this angled position. Here we go. You're in your zigzag mermaid position here. We're coming up and over with movement 4 times. For most of these stretches, we'll be doing movement first. Then we will hug and hold the stretch. And then we'll do movement again. This next one, we're going to come into the hug and hold. You're hugging yourself around the waist. You're hugging the top of the head, bringing the shoulders back and down, opening up the face, open the chest. There's our hold. In this mermaid position, we're adding a little rock. We're rocking here through the hips. Then we're going to dive this mermaid into the water. We're coming on up, arms come up, rotating to the right, and then we're diving down, bending the elbows, and you're here, holding it here. If you'd like a little bit more, take the elbows out, stack the hands, and we're taking the face down onto the hands. Could be the side of your face, could be your forehead. Holding here for 30 seconds. Relax into it and let yourself wiggle out into a lovely stretch there. Feel the spine lengthening and allowing your heart to come down a little bit further, allowing the shoulders to sink as well. Elbows might sink out a little further. Letting gravity help us into this stretch. We're breathing in, breathing out, coming back the way we came onto our elbows, and then up and open out the shoulders here for a moment. We're now going to work on our glutes. So we've got fingertips on the mat. And then in front, we're rocking here 4 times. Bend the elbows and rock. You're finding a stretch through your hips, lower back, could be the inner thigh. we're also aiming for the glute. Here we go. Come forward to where you feel a lovely stretch in the hips. Some of you might need to go a bit further down to feel it in this glute through the back there. If you don't feel it, reach further out, and we're holding it here. Bend the elbows if that helps. Relaxing into it. Always welcome to wiggle and find your best position. That's the one that feels great. The one that hurts isn't the best position, that's the one that's a little bit too far. Then we're coming on up, opening the arms out. We're finding the ankle, the left ankle or foot, and we're bringing the quads together and then opening the knee back. 4 like that. Some movement first for the hip, the lower back, and the quads. This next one, we're keeping the leg on the floor, gently squeezing that top glute, push the hip forward, and bring the heel behind us. If your foot's popping up at all, and I could see it, bring it on down. Your foot is hiding behind your quad, behind your leg there. If you don't feel it, maybe come onto your elbow and squeeze that back glute. That will help drive the stretch. Holding it here. And then we'll come on up. We'll bring a little bit of movement in front of us with the leg. The leg is crossing over the knee and then opening. We've got a cross and an open. Belly button is in. Enjoy it. Out of habit, I often point my foot, but it could be flexed if you like, or it could be relaxed. Then we're coming in for your stretch. We're sitting up all the way, stretching the hip flexor here, or add to it by picking up this foot and ankle and crossing over the thigh. From there, we're aiming up with the spine and the knee. We're hugging in and up. Up with the spine, hugging the thigh in towards the ribs. Shoulders come down. Holding it here. We're going to go for this one for 30 seconds. If you'd like to, you can look over the left shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. We'll lengthen that leg out, unwind it, unwrap it. We're here. We're coming up and over, and we will do our mermaid series on this side. So your zigzag mermaid, zigzag with the legs. The left foot is forward, up in line with the mat there for your shin and your knee. Back leg is zigzagged back to where you feel a lovely stretch. If it's uncomfortable, straighten out the right leg at the side instead and work from here as you need to. Find your position. We'll have some movement first. Lateral stretches here, belly button in, relaxing through a flowing movement. The next one we're going to hold. Here it comes. Wrapping around the waist, holding the crown of the head, open the shoulders, open the elbow. Find your stretch position through the waist there, and have a lovely rock. I love these, so relaxing. From here, we'll take the mermaid diving into the water, opening out, hands come to the mat. We're facing the side here, come down on our elbows. That could be a great stretch right there. You don't have to go any further. If you want to, stack the hands, take the elbows out, and bring the head down to the hands or the forehead. We'll be staying here for 30 seconds, so use time and gravity to help you wiggle into a deeper stretch. From here, we'll breathe in, breathe out, come back the way we came. Check shoulders. Come on up. Now, seatbelts on, opening out. Hands come forward, and we're finding the stretch through our hips, inner thighs, and the glute and lower back. Could be down on your elbows here. It'll feel different and look different on all of us, and it will feel very different, usually, on one hip compared to the other. Check your alignment, aim for alignment wherever you are, and aim to really stretch through the glute. Enjoying that one there. We are coming up and we'll do the squat. So we've got the right foot or ankle in. We're bringing the knees together, opening to the back. Together and open. Good. There's 3. Here's number 4. Let's keep that knee back and down. Squeeze that glute. Press the hip. There's your stretch. Check shoulders, check seat belts. Check that your foot isn't twisting or coming up at all. It's hiding behind the glute there. Holding it here. Joints love movement when we're stretching, so if you feel the need to wiggle or check your posture, go for it. And then here we go. We'll put that foot down. We'll scoop up under the knee and add a little movement here. Opening, crossing across that knee. Open. The next one we'll hold. So you could be holding here, sitting up to stretch, or taking this foot and the ankle across the thigh, finding your posture and sitting up. Oops, is my hip coming up off the mat a little bit? I need to wiggle it down. Shoulders down. Oh, feeling so good in the hips and spine. Breathing in. Breathing out, looking over the right shoulder. We'll hold here. You can feel gravity helping to lengthen your spine while sinking the hips to the mat. It'll feel lovely. From here, we'll unwind, we'll untangle, we'll bring the knees up and together. So we can sit with one leg, the back leg straight ahead, the front leg opening out towards the camera, gently pressing this thigh down. Wiggle through the toes towards us and away a few times. Walking the fingertips down that straight leg, holding it here for a moment. Where will the fingertips go? And then we're going to start to really work into our hamstrings and our hips. Here we come. We're coming on up. We're bringing that knee up, holding this leg. Whoops, there's a counterbalance, so give myself some more space. We're down. Then we're going to push that heel to the ceiling. The toes are coming back towards us. Hold the back of the thigh, hold the back of the calf. We're going to stay here in this hamstring stretch for a minute. It's already started. While we're here, go for it, checking your posture. If you feel the shoulders tensing up while you're stretching, relax them, wiggle them, bring them away from the ears. Your foot in the air could be your own style. It could be relaxed. You could be pointing it. That's often a habit for me. It'll be toning the legs there. Or the more difficult level is to really push that heel to the ceiling, pushing the toes towards your nose. That should send that stretch a little deeper through the entire back of the leg. Holding it there. If you'd like a slightly deeper stretch as well, lengthen out the other leg and go for it here. Breathing in, breathing out 1 more millimeter. You've got it. We're going to bring that foot back to the mat for us, and we're opening this leg out to the side for your adductor stretch. Keep your seatbelts on, anchor yourself. I'm going to give myself some space so you don't tilt anywhere. Your hips, your back are on the floor. You're opening that leg out. You could support it with the other hand. You could reach for your toes. Ooh, I've got a wall there that I'm supporting my leg with. But if I move away a little bit, I'll have a little more space. Ooh, there we go. If you'd like to, you could lengthen the other leg out onto the floor. Opening up the hips, the lower back, and the inner thigh there. Might feel fab. We're holding it there for a moment. We're going to come out of this by bending the knee, guiding that leg back up. And then we're bending the knee. The toes or the foot are coming onto the other thigh here. We're going to hold this leg with the opposite arm near the thigh there. The back arm is reaching up, palm up to the ceiling. There's your anchor. Your back arm is behind you at a 90-degree angle. We're breathing in, breathing out, and we're taking these zigzag legs over towards the floor. Opening up the shoulder, the waist, and the hip. You could be there, or use your elbow to help slowly guide yourself down. Maybe the knees and the feet are touching the floor, maybe not yet. Maybe that foot there. Ooh, open through the ribs and the hip there. Hoping that feels nice. We'll stay here for 30 seconds. If you'd like a little bit more here, lengthen out the top leg, reach for the toes. See if that feels good. Here we go. We're bending the knee, bringing the foot back. We'll come back the way we came and have a hug here, hugging that thigh in. Circling the knee here, 2 times in each direction. And then we're going to sit up. We're breathing in, breathing out, tucking the chin. Come on up, and we'll go to the other side. Now we've got the front leg straight, the back knee is opening out, gently pressing that thigh down a little bit, sitting up, adding some movement here, toes away and up. Seatbelts on, belly button in, walking on down. Where will the hands go? Feeling the stretch in your hamstrings and hip. Also the other hip and lower back. Holding it for a moment. Have movement wherever you need it. Then we're going into that hamstring stretch. So we're coming on up. Bringing the other knee up. We'll hold this leg. I'm giving myself some space. And here we go. All the way down. Find your position. The minute has started. You could be relaxed through your foot. You could be pointing. That can look nice. Squeeze the kneecap, squeeze the quad if you'd like to point. Otherwise, push through the heel. Bring the toes over the nose. Hold the back of the thigh, the back of the calf. Relax into this one. The straighter this leg, the deeper you will stretch the hamstrings. So do go for it. Really, I am squeezing my kneecap and quad if that helps me find that stretch. Any more for any more, lengthen out the other leg. See if that feels good. Holding it here. From here, we're breathing in. Breathing out, breath out a little bit deeper into the hamstrings. We'll bring the other foot up, and we're going to guide this leg out to the side for our adductor stretch. Other hand could go on the hip, elbow comes down. There's your anchor. Keep the hips in the back on the mat. We're not allowing ourselves to tilt. We're here. Stretching through that inner thigh. Find the toes if that feels good. Holding it here. Then we'll breathe in, breathe out. We're guiding this leg back up to where we are. Now we're taking this foot onto the other thigh. Find your zigzag position. Everything's in alignment here. The arm is opening out to the front, palm up. We're guiding this thigh or knee, and our hips will come up off the mat. We're guiding across the body till we find our stretch. Really opening out through the chest, through the shoulder. through the hip and lower back here. Might be feeling it there in the glute. See where you feel this one. And we'll relax here. From here, we're breathing in, breathing out. We'll guide everything back up, and then bring this thigh towards the ribs for the hug. Holding the shin, we're circling the knee twice here and twice the other way. After we've done that, we're ready for a lovely ball to pike. Here's the ball. We're hugging the thighs in, a little rock. Check shoulders are relaxed and comfy. Check the neck, allowing your head to move to the east and to the west. Tighten up your ball a little bit more. Here we go. Breathing in, breathing out, lengthening the legs. Where will they go for your pike? Hold the thighs, the calves, ankles, shoulders away from the ears. Wheel the hips and spine, lengthen out on the mat. If you'd like a little more, push the heels. Bring the toes towards the nose. Maybe reach the toes. See how that feels. Squeeze the quads, squeeze the kneecaps. That might buy you another millimeter into the stretch. Wonderful. We're coming on down. One foot down, other leg down, and we'll come up and over. So we can come into our cobra. Legs will come apart for this. A little bit wider than the mat. We're going to start at a low position. Elbows are out and wide. Fingertips reaching the corners. We're breathing in, breathing out, lifting up out of the shoulders, lengthening the spine, keeping a neutral neck here. Any injuries? Go for this position. Otherwise, come on down. Bring the hands closer to the shoulders. Elbows are in tight near the ribs. We're breathing in, breathing out. Come on up. Shoulders away from your ears. Stop at the point where stop before you feel any compaction in the lower back. Could be stretching the abs right now. Maybe you feel it in your hips. Could be in different places for different people. Come on down. If you'd like to keep on going in a moving cobra, lengthening and lowering. Let your spine start flowing along. Check shoulders. Make sure the neck is moving. You could continue like that, or come on up. Walk the hands a little bit further away if you'd like to. Check your shoulders, and you're taking one hand towards your thigh, holding it there, opening the shoulder back, looking over the shoulder, or if you feel any compaction, look ahead instead. We'll come and swap. Breathing in, breathing out. The hand finds the back of the thigh there, and we're up. You could be looking behind or forward. Then we'll come forward. Come on down. Toes find each other, feet find each other, knees find the edges of the mat. Wide knees. And we're pushing ourselves back. Hips coming to the heels, gluing there. And we're up on our forearms, stretching out the fingertips, shoulders away from the ears. Have some movement here, a little bit of a rock. Pushing back. Then we're going into our wide child's pose. You could be here, or you could be breathing in, breathing out, reaching the arms long, bringing the forehead to the mat. If you'd like to, you could bring the heart to the mat. Just keep bringing those hips back to the heels. The heart could be floating above the mat, maybe even touching. You choose your position. Let gravity help the hips get that tiny bit closer to the heels and keep sinking down into it. So lovely for the hips and lower back. From here, we'll breathe in, breathe out, coming up on our elbows, forearms, bring the knees back onto the mat, and we're coming forward and down, all the way down. Elbows out, head on the hands are stacked, and we're rocking the hips side to side here, getting rid of any tension. Have a little rock, side to side. Great. Then you have some choices. You could go into your quad stretch, squeezing the glute, pressing the hip into the mat, stretching your quad there. If you'd like a deeper stretch, bring the toe up, and then keep on bringing it up and over your body. There it is, angling the knee up. There's our angel stretch. We'll come back the way we came. We'll do the other side. Could be up, into your quad stretch, squeeze the glute, press the hip into the mat. Very nice. You could add to it by releasing the foot, bringing the foot and the knee up and over. There they are. Could be like this. Come on down. If you'd like a little more, take the arms wider. We'll be stretching through the shoulders as well. You're coming on up. Bring the same hand in as the toe and come up and over here. And then we're pressing into the floor with the toe. The knee goes to the ceiling. And you should be getting a stretch in the back arm. It's out at 90-degree angles. Come on in and we'll do the other side. Arms are wide. Toe comes up. Reaches up and over to the floor. The knee goes to the ceiling. This back hand comes in closer. And stretch through your shoulder and your chest there. Let that feel good. And we'll go back the way we came. Legs come straight. Arms come out, under, and up. All the way up into our cat. Rocking cat here. And then the cow. Hips to the ceiling, heart and face moving forward. Wiggly cow here a little bit. Feeling good. Great. Knees together, feet together. Hips find the heels. Child's pose, reaching the arms long. Gluing the torso to the thighs. Relaxing here. We can bring our hands and arms next to us. Palms up to the ceiling, letting the shoulders relax down towards the knees. Rock a little side to side. Breathing in, breathing out, pulling in the abs. We're pulling ourselves up and up, checking our posture here. Nice long spine. If this is too much, bring both legs in front of you and sit on the mat. Otherwise, keep stretching through the fronts of the feet and the shins. Hands come together. Middle finger finds the chin. Elbows lead the way up gently, opening up the front here of the neck and the chest. Come on down. And then we will move so that we're bringing our legs around to the front. Both legs up in front of us, sitting up and nice and tall. Toes coming up and away. Up and away. A little bit more there for movement. Our final fold. Abs in. We're reaching forward, walking down the legs. Where will you be able to reach? It could be thighs, shins, ankles, toes. Just make sure you can feel that stretch from your hips all the way through the hamstrings. If you don't feel it, it might mean that your knees are popping up a little bit away from the mat. Bring them to the mat before you reach, even if it means you can't reach quite as far. That will still be a more effective stretch for your hips and hamstrings, and you will definitely get there. That's the great thing about stretching. Recent studies do show that we can all become more flexible at any age. Just stretch regularly whenever you have a moment. Even 1 minute, a 1 minute quick stretch something like this, you'd be amazed at what you can do with just 1 minute a few times a week when you remember. Come on up, shake it all out, and I'll meet you sitting facing the front, however way you prefer. Legs could be out in front. Let's take the shoulders up, back, and around. Let's check our neck. Checking that everything feels good. We can look to the east and the west. We can look south. We can look a bit north. We've got our shoulders coming up. A little bit of a wiggle lift there. Circling back. We've got our elbows. They feel good. Wrists. Let's check our hips. Side to side there, knees glued together. Last two, and we'll meet in the butterfly position, soles of the feet together, knees gently falling open wherever they go, elbows gently pressing the thighs open here. Could rock a little bit forward if that feels good. Maybe side to side feels good. I hope you feel relaxed and lovely through the joints and muscles. Thank you very much for joining me for this lovely stretch. And I look forward to stretching and moving with you again soon. So come on up, give yourself a hug, and a pat, 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 and a clap. Great work, well done. See you at Fittest again soon.